the Roman legions, the 10th Legion stood out as the first to be personally created by Julius Caesar, playing a vital role in the Gallic Wars under his direct command in almost every battle of the campaign. In this video, we will explore what made the 10th Legion Caesar's favorite, as well as his personal bodyguard, foundation of the Legion. During Julius Caesar's time, legions were identified by numbers rather than names. Historians refer to a 10th Legion created by Caesar during his tenure as provincial governor in inland Spain. Upon arriving to assume this post in 61 BC, Caesar immediately decided to subjugate the western and northwestern regions of the province. At that time, Caesar already had 2 legions in Provence, the 8th and 9th, which had been enlisted by Pompey in 65 BC. However, he still needed a 3rd legion for his campaign, leading to the formation of the 10th Legion, which was ready by March. The 10th Legion adopted the bull as its symbol, which appeared on the shields of every legionary and the legion's standards. The Romans deeply valued the power of the zodiac and were highly influenced by horoscopes. Therefore, the unit's birth sign was also present with every legionary. The 10th Legion's fame is largely due to the accounts of its actions recorded in Caesar's commentaries, where he narrates his military operations during the Gallic Wars in the 3rd person. Caesar's military campaigns, 58 BC, 44 BC. The 10th Legion played a crucial role in the Gallic Wars. The 10th Legion fought under Julius Caesar's command in nearly every battle of the campaign. At the outset, Caesar led this legion, along with the 7th, 8th, and 9th, to Hispania. Shortly thereafter, in the summer of 58 BC, the 10th participated in 2 significant battles at Erar and Bibracte. Additionally, it played a crucial role in defeating the Helvetii, preventing them from migrating from what is now Switzerland to Western Gaul. Disciplined and highly trained, the legionaries and auxiliaries not only demonstrated bravery on the battlefield, but also during what were supposed to be moments of rest, which were actually used to prepare the camp. During these times, they would swap their spears for shovels, digging rectangular trenches around the tents and erecting fences around the perimeter, ensuring they were never caught off guard. Their organization and joint combat tactics allowed them to face forces much larger than their own, even when outnumbered. After the victory over the Helvetii, the leaders of the Gallic tribes sought Caesar's help against Ariovistus, king of the Germanic Suebi tribe. Before the battle, Ariovistus proposed a peace conference but insisted that both sides be accompanied only by mounted troops. Ariovistus knew that Caesar's cavalry was primarily composed of Aeduan horsemen, whose loyalty to Caesar was questionable. Recognizing this, Julius Caesar ordered a group of his auxiliary troops to dismount and instructed the legionaries of the 10th Legion to ride the horses and accompany him to the conference. In his own words, Caesar wrote that since he could only bring cavalry, he decided to have all his legionaries dismount. Caesar decided to replace the native irregulars with men from the 10th Legion, knowing he could trust them completely. With these soldiers around him, he would have an absolutely loyal bodyguard. One of the legionaries joked with Caesar, saying they had been promoted to the rank of knights, or the equestrian order. At that time, the Roman equestrian order was made up of aristocrats, ranking just below the senatorial order. From this episode onward, the 10th Legion became known as the Equestrians. Later, in the Battle of Pharsalus in 48 BC and the Battle of Munda in 45 BC, Caesar placed great trust in the 10th Legion, positioning them on the far right of his battle formation, a place of both prestige and significant danger. He cited an example of this trust during his campaign in Gaul. Upon finding some of his officers fearful, Caesar gave a stern speech challenging those noblemen. He gathered the officers and advised them to march, stating that he wouldn't risk a battle against their will, but that he would take only the 10th Legion to face the barbarians. However, even his beloved legion had moments of discontent. Before departing for a battle in North Africa, the 10th Legion, along with the 7th and 9th, engaged in a mutiny, demanding overdue pay, discharge, and land. Caesar, known for being a firm but fair leader, initially granted them all their discharge. However, the legions, realizing they loved war and didn't want to give it up, asked their general to put them back into action. Caesar allowed the legion to return to active duty, but never forgot the incident, later taking revenge on the leaders involved. Soon, I will create a video dedicated to explaining what motivated this rebellion within Caesar's legions. The 10th Legion continued to serve under Caesar until his death in 44 BC. After his death, the legion was transferred to the young Octavian, who relocated it to Macedonia. Its veterans were settled in Patras, but after a revolt against Octavian, the legion lost its title of equestrians. With the addition of new legionaries from other regions, it was renamed the 10th Legion Gemina. It is unclear whether the legion served under Octavian in the Battle of Actium in 31 BC. From Macedonia, the 10th was sent east and stationed in Syria. Military campaigns in Armenia, 17 AD, 58 AD. In 17 AD, the 10th Legion was stationed in Zeugma, guarding the crossing of the Euphrates River. In 19 AD, the Roman commander Germanicus, nephew of Emperor Tiberius, was on a diplomatic mission in Syria. At that time, Germanicus saw himself as the commander of the Roman forces in the east. Many, including the historian Tacitus, believed that he was there to monitor the behavior of the governor Gnaeus Calpurnius Piso. Germanicus temporarily left Syria to visit Egypt, but ordered the governor to march with his legions, including the 10th, into Armenia. Upon his return, Germanicus discovered that Piso had disobeyed his orders. Furious, Germanicus ordered Piso to return to Rome. Tacitus wrote about the conflict and Piso's arrogance, even after receiving clear orders. Part of the legions was sent to Armenia, and eventually the two armies met, establishing their winter quarters with the 10th Legion. Each commander maintained their own vision and control, with Germanicus avoiding any appearance of threat. Germanicus died shortly after, and rumors circulated that Piso himself had poisoned him. After this event, Piso faced trial in the Roman Senate, but committed suicide before the verdict was delivered. Little is known about the 10th Legion until 54 AD, when it took part in the Armenian campaigns led by Gnaeus Domitius Corbulo. Like Caesar before him, Corbulo recognized the legion's resilience and chose the 10th and the 6th to lead his campaign. However, the legions were not in ideal physical condition for battle, so the commander subjected them to a rigorous training regimen. Reinforced with elements of the 3rd Gallic Legion, they marched into Armenia in 58 AD. Corbulo positioned the 10th in the center, the 6th on the left, and the 3rd on the right. The legions quickly conquered the city of Valandum, where all adult males were executed. The siege and destruction of Jerusalem, 66 AD, 70 AD. In 66 AD, Vespasian and his son Titus were sent by Nero to lead a counteroffensive to suppress the Jewish revolt. The future emperor commanded the 5th, 15th, 10th, and 3rd legions. In June 67 AD, he marched into Galilee, where after a 47-day siege, 40,000 people lost their lives. In the spring of 68 AD, the 3rd Legion was transferred from Vespasian's army and sent to Media. Without the 3rd, the 10th Legion advanced across the Jordan and captured Jericho. In 70 AD, the Legion was assigned the task of capturing Jerusalem. Along with 5 other legions, the 10th marched against the city, and by May, the first of the city's 3 walls began to crumble under the Roman siege. However, a Jewish counterattack forced the legions to retreat temporarily. With the eventual collapse of the first and second walls, the Jewish defenders fell back to the 3rd wall. In August, Titus initiated the final assault. The attack was a brutal affair. During the final siege, the temple was set ablaze, and some blamed Titus for the fire. As the city burned, the legionaries looted it. The city took 4 months to fall, with approximately 1 million people killed and 70,000 taken prisoner. The 10th Legion then remained in Jerusalem as the resident legion, establishing a base in the burned ruins. Evidence suggests that the 10th Legion continued to be based in Jerusalem for up to 150 years after the destruction. By the mid-200s and 30s AD, little is known about the legion's activities. But now, what do you think about learning more about this crucial legion in the conquests of Julius Caesar and the Roman Empire? If you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe to our channel.